Okay, we have all been there. You finish an amazing meal, you're feeling full, satisfied, and then bam, that overwhelming urge to just go lie down and take a nap. Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on that feeling, the classic food coma. So, what's really going on in your body? Let's get into it. Seriously, isn't this the million-dollar question? It doesn't matter if it's a huge holiday feast or just your regular old Tuesday lunch, that wave of sleepiness can feel totally unavoidable. But why? What is happening? For what feels like forever, the go-to culprit has always been the Thanksgiving turkey. You know the story. It's supposedly loaded with this stuff called tryptophan that just knocks us right out. It's a simple story, and one we've all probably repeated. Yeah, as you've probably guessed, it's not quite that simple. The real story is way more fascinating. It's this complex dance of hormones, your blood sugar, and even your body's own internal clock. So let's bust that turkey myth and get to the real science behind the food coma. First things first, if you get sleepy after eating, you are in very, very good company. It is so common that, of course, science has a name for it. Postprandial somnolence. I know, it sounds super complicated, but it literally just translates to after-meal sleepiness. It's a completely normal physiological response. In fact, some scientists think it might have an evolutionary purpose, to help us conserve energy while our body is busy digesting. So this really gets to the heart of it. Yes, turkey has tryptophan, and yes, our bodies use tryptophan to make hormones that help us sleep, but guess what? So do chicken, cheese, and a ton of other foods. The real trigger isn't the tryptophan by itself. It's the whole package, a big, heavy, high-calorie meal, especially one packed with both fats and carbs. That's the perfect storm for feeling drowsy. So, if we can't blame the turkey, what's actually going on inside of us? Let's take a look under the hood, because a lot of this is set in motion before you even pick up your fork. Your body is already kind of programmed for an afternoon slump. First, you've got your circadian rhythm, your body's 24-hour clock, which has a natural, built-in dip in alertness right around the early afternoon. On top of that, ever since you woke up, a chemical called adenosine has been slowly building up in your brain, increasing what's called sleep pressure. Then, you eat. This triggers your body to release these inflammatory proteins called cytokines and causes a shift in your hormones. The ones that keep you alert go down, and the sleepy ones go up. So basically, your lunch is hitting you right when your body is already looking for a reason to slow down. But the number one food-related villain in this story, it's what happens to your blood sugar. It's a real roller coaster, especially after a meal that's heavy on the carbohydrates. Okay, let me walk you through this. So you eat a meal with lots of simple carbs. Think pasta, white rice, maybe a sugary soda. This sends your blood sugar through the roof. Your body then goes into overdrive, releasing a ton of insulin to grab all that sugar from your blood. Now here's the kicker. That huge insulin surge also suppresses a brain chemical called orexin, which is super important for keeping you awake. And for the final blow, insulin also clears a path for that famous tryptophan to get into your brain where it's turned into the sleepy time hormones, serotonin and melatonin. It is the perfect 1-2 punch for a nap. All right, so now that we know what's knocking us out, the big question is, can we actually eat in a way that prevents it? The answer is a big yes. Let's look at some foods and nutrients that can help you stay energized. So we just talked about tryptophan's role in the food coma, but in normal, balanced amounts from foods like pumpkin seeds or tofu, it's actually crucial for good sleep regulation. Then you have magnesium. This one is a powerhouse. You'll find it in spinach and almonds, and it helps relax your muscles and regulate melatonin. You can even get melatonin directly from foods like tart cherries and pistachios. And some cool research suggests that plant-based proteins might just improve your overall sleep quality. And we're not talking about insignificant amounts here. Take those tart cherries we just mentioned. Just 100 grams of them can contain around 9 milligrams of tryptophan. It just goes to show you how powerful, simple, whole foods can be. And hey, it's not just cherries. Check this out. One study found that people who ate 2 kiwis about an hour before they went to sleep actually fell asleep faster and reported having better quality sleep. How cool is that? Researchers think it could be thanks to the kiwi's antioxidants and its naturally high concentration of serotonin. Okay, let's switch gears to something that's super important for energy but often gets overlooked: plain old water. Being properly hydrated is way more connected to your sleep and energy than you probably realize. It's kind of a vicious cycle. See, when you're sleeping, your brain releases a hormone called vasopressin that tells your body to hang on to water. But if your sleep gets disrupted, your body doesn't release that hormone properly, which can lead to you waking up dehydrated. And on the flip side, if you're already dehydrated, you might get headaches or muscle cramps that, you guessed it, disrupt your sleep. The bottom line is this: good sleep helps you stay hydrated, and good hydration helps you sleep. They go hand in hand. Okay, we've gone through all the science, we've identified the main culprits, so how do we actually put all this knowledge to work? Let's build a simple, practical plan to fight back against that post-meal slump. Here it is. 4 easy steps. First, try eating smaller, more balanced meals. Make sure you have some protein and healthy fats in there to keep your blood sugar from spiking and crashing. Second, get up and move. Just a quick 10 or 20-minute walk after you eat does wonders for digestion and energy. Third, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate during the day. And finally, and this one might be the most important, prioritize your sleep at night. A well-rested body is your absolute best defense against that afternoon energy dip. Now, one last really important point. We need to know the difference between a normal food coma and something that could be more serious. A typical bout of sleepiness hits you within an hour of eating, and it's just, well, drowsiness. But if you're feeling shaky, dizzy, or sweaty 2 to 5 hours after you eat, that could be something called reactive hypoglycemia. It might be a sign of an underlying issue, so if those symptoms sound familiar, it's definitely a good idea to talk to your doctor. So that's what it all comes down to, right? Now you know what's going on inside your body. You have the power to look at your next plate of food and decide, is this going to power me through my afternoon, or is it going to send me straight to the couch? The choice is all yours.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your sources and really pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge. Today, we're tackling something, well, pretty much everyone knows, that post-meal slump, the food coma. A feeling after a good meal when all you want to do is maybe curl up for a nap. Our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the science, bust some myths, and give you some solid takeaways from the research you shared. Stuff to help optimize, your energy and sleep.
That's right. We've got a great guide here, plus several studies. They really help us get into not just what's happening, but why it matters for, well, how you function every day. Let's dig in.
Okay, let's unpack it then. This post-meal sleepiness. What exactly is it, and is it, happening to everyone?
Well, the fancy term is postprandial somnolence. And yes, it's incredibly common. Most people feel it sometimes, especially after lunch seems to be a peak time. Though interestingly, some folks, maybe night owls or people with ADHD, might feel it less intensely. But yeah, it's widespread.
Huh. So it's not just me being lazy after pasta. What's actually, going on inside our bodies?
Oh, it's definitely not laziness. It's biology. There are quite a few things working together. First, there's your circadian rhythm, your body's natural 24-hour clock. It actually has a built-in dip in alertness in the early afternoon, usually somewhere between, say, 1 and 4 p.m.
Ah, okay. So the body's already kind of winding down a bit then anyway.
Exactly. The meal timing often lines up with that natural dip. Then you've got your sleep drive. Basically, the longer you're awake, the more your body wants to sleep. This chemical, adenosine, builds up in your brain.
Adenosine.
And it promotes sleep. Plus, studies show actual reduced brain activity after eating. Your cognitive function literally slows down a bit.
Wow. Okay.
And then there are hormones. Eating causes a drop in alertness hormones and a rise in sleepiness ones like serotonin and even melatonin.
It really does sound like a perfect storm brewing after a meal. Anything else in that mix?
Yep, one more key piece. Cytokines. These are proteins involved in your immune system, inflammation, and their levels tend to rise after you eat, especially after a big, high-calorie meal. They've been linked to fatigue. It's almost like a signal to rest and digest.
Okay, this is the big one for me, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You always blame the turkey, right? That tryptophan making us sleepy. Is that the whole story?
The turkey myth. It's a classic, but a bit of an oversimplification. Yes, tryptophan is an amino acid, and yes, it gets converted into serotonin and melatonin, which, make you drowsy.
Yeah.
But it's not the only thing. The sources really emphasize that a heavy meal overall, particularly one high in calories from both fats and carbs, is the real recipe for that post-meal slump.
So it's the combo, not just the turkey itself.
Exactly. It's the overall food composition. Think about high-carb meals, especially ones that spike your blood sugar fast, like white bread or sugary drinks. You get that quick energy rush, then a big crash. That crash is linked to tiredness.
Makes sense.
And that blood sugar spike triggers insulin. Insulin's job is to get sugar into your cells, but high levels can also suppress orexin.
Orexin. That's the alertness neurotransmitter, isn't it?
Spot on. So less orexin means, well, feeling less alert, more sleepy. Tryptophan plays its part, absolutely. And foods naturally high in melatonin, like certain fruits, nuts, they can add to it too.
Okay, so beyond the meal itself, What if someone's just generally tired already? Does that make the slump worse? Like if you didn't sleep well?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great point. General fatigue definitely amplifies it. If you're dealing with sleep disorders like insomnia, you're already running on empty, basically, or lack of exercise, maybe mental health stuff like depression or high stress, even other hormonal changes.
Oh.
All these things create a baseline tiredness.
So the meal just pushes you over the edge.
Kind of, yeah. You add the biological work of digestion and those hormonal shifts onto an already tired system. That post-meal sleepiness is going to feel much, much stronger. Your body just has less reserve.
Right. So, okay, this feeling is common.
Mm-hmm.
But when should we maybe worry? When is it more than just needing a quick nap after lunch?
That's a really important distinction to make. While most of us feel this now and then, if that sleepiness is really intense, lasts a long time, or, actually messes with your daily life, it could signal something else. One thing to know about is reactive hypoglycemia. This is a real drop in blood sugar after eating.
Okay, how is that different?
The timing, mostly. This usually happens like 2 to 5 hours after a meal, much later than that typical 30-60-minute slump. You often see it in people with diabetes, pre-diabetes, maybe liver issues or some hormone problems.
That timing difference is key. Good to know.
Definitely. Another possibility is insulin resistance. This is where your insulin isn't working efficiently to get glucose energy into your cells.
So the fuel isn't getting where it needs to go.
Pretty much. You feel sluggish, again, often linked to diabetes or prediabetes, but also lifestyle factors like inactivity or chronic stress can play a role. And then there's hormonal imbalance in general. Sleep itself is huge for regulating hormones like leptin, that's your fullness signal, and ghrelin, the hunger hormone.
Oh, so poor sleep messes with those.
Big time. Lack of sleep can crank up ghrelin and dial down leptin, so you feel hungrier, maybe eat more, and feel more fatigued overall. It's a cycle. So the bottom line here is if this post-meal tiredness is severe, happens all the time, or really gets in the way of things, it's worth talking to a doctor. They can help rule out underlying stuff, diabetes, sleep apnea, maybe thyroid issues, neurological things, even mood disorders. Don't just brush it off if it's persistent.
That's really important advice. Okay, so we understand the whys a bit better now.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to the hows. How can we actually fight this feeling? What are the practical strategies, especially around food and hydration?
Right, the actionable stuff. We can definitely make some smart adjustments.
Yeah.
For managing that slump, maybe try smaller, more frequent meals instead of, 3 huge ones. Think grazing versus gorging.
Okay, smaller portions.
And focus on balanced nutrition. Make sure meals have protein, healthy fats alongside those carbs. That helps stabilize blood sugar, avoiding the big spikes and crashes.
It's not just carbs alone.
Exactly. And even some light activity afterwards helps. A quick 10 or 20-minute walk can really boost digestion and energy.
Get the blood flowing a bit.
Yep. And maybe the most crucial thing, getting enough quality sleep at night. If you're carrying sleep debt, that afternoon dip will hit you like a ton of bricks.
That makes total sense. Okay, let's drill down into hydration. How does that fit into the energy and sleep picture? Feels like we often forget about water.
Oh, hydration is huge. And yeah, often overlooked. It's fundamental. Being properly hydrated helps regulate your body temperature, which is a key signal for sleep. And dehydration can actually mess with your sleep-wake cycle and how long you sleep. Think about it. Dry mouth, thirst, headaches, muscle cramps. None of that helps you sleep well, does it?
Definitely not.
And there's this interesting feedback loop. Poor sleep might actually make you more dehydrated. The theory is that sleep disruption interferes with a hormone called vasopressin, which normally helps your body hold on to water overnight.
Wow, I didn't know that. So bad sleep can lead to dehydration, which leads to bad sleep.
Exactly. It can become a cycle. But the good news is staying well hydrated during the day really supports healthy sleep.
Okay, so practical tips for hydration. How do we do it right, especially without waking up needing the bathroom all night?
Good question. Keep track of your water intake during the day. Make it a habit. And remember, you get water from food, too. Things like watermelon, pears, oranges, spinach, squash, carrots, they all help.
Eat your water.
Kind of, yeah. And for nighttime, maybe just a small drink before bed if you need it. Try to limit really salty foods or lots of protein late in the evening, as digesting those can make your body produce more urine.
Got it. Limit the late-night salt and steak. Okay, that's super helpful. Now, beyond just avoiding the crash-inducing stuff, are there specific foods that can actually help us sleep better?
Yes, definitely. Some foods contain nutrients and compounds that directly influence those sleep hormones and brain chemicals we talked about. Let's start with melatonin-rich foods. Melatonin helps regulate when you feel sleepy, your circadian rhythm. Tart cherries are a standout, especially Montmorency cherries or the unsweetened juice. Some research suggests a glass about an hour before bed can improve sleep quality and how long you sleep.
Tart cherry juice, interesting.
Yeah, pistachios, almonds, walnuts too, they have melatonin, plus other goodies like omega-3s, magnesium, zinc, all helpful for sleep. Then you have tryptophan-rich foods. Remember, your body needs tryptophan to make serotonin and melatonin, but can't produce it on its own.
So we need to eat it.
Exactly. Lots of seeds are great sources. Pumpkin, chia, sesame, hemp, sunflower, flax, nuts like black walnuts, cashews, pistachios, peanuts, and soy foods like tofu are fantastic. 1 cup of firm tofu packs a huge tryptophan punch, like over 200% of your daily need.
Wow.
Plus, soy has isoflavones, which might gently help regulate sleep cycles, and L-ornithine, an amino acid that can reduce stress and improve sleep quality.
That's amazing how much is packed into some of these foods. What else should be on our sleep-friendly shopping list?
Definitely magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium is like a relaxation mineral. It helps relax muscles. It binds to GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is a calming neurotransmitter, and it helps regulate melatonin.
Where do we find magnesium?
Spinach is a powerhouse, tons of magnesium, plus tryptophan. Bananas have a decent amount, plus potassium, which research suggests might help sleep, especially for women. Pumpkin seeds, again, great for magnesium and tryptophan. Oats are brilliant, too. They're loaded with magnesium and tryptophan, plus complex carbs that help boost serotonin and lower the stress hormone cortisol.
Oats. Okay, maybe oatmeal isn't just for breakfast. What about less common things? Any surprises?
Well, how about kiwi? This little green fruit is full of vitamin C and E, potassium, folate, and some studies found that people eating 2 kiwis an hour before bed fell asleep faster, slept longer, and felt their sleep was better quality.
2 kiwis. Why?
Researchers think it might be their antioxidants, anti-inflammatory effects, maybe the folate, or even that they have a decent amount of serotonin themselves. Still figuring out the exact mechanism, but the results are promising.
Fascinating.
And for a smart bedtime snack, think protein plus carbs, like a banana with some almond butter. You get magnesium, potassium, tryptophan. It's a good combo. Oh, and one study pointed towards plant proteins possibly being better for sleep quality than animal proteins, which might sometimes have the opposite effect. Something to consider.
What a deep dive this has been. It's really clear that, yeah, feeling sleepy after eating is normal, but understanding all these moving parts, the biology, the food, hydration, sleep habits, it gives you so much more agency, doesn't it?
Precisely. It's not just what you eat. It's the timing, the balance, the combinations. It all matters. And just as importantly, recognizing when fatigue isn't just normal tiredness and knowing when to reach out to a professional. Understanding is step 1. Applying it is where the value really comes in.
So thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does it mean for you listening right now? Consider your body's energy flow across the whole day, that whole 24-hour cycle. How could understanding this rhythm change how you plan your meals, your activities, to really get the best performance and the best rest? What's maybe the one simple change that stands out to something you could try today?
Thanks for tuning in.